Hi, welcome to PMO Box tutorial. Today we're going to look at the program status report. Now the program status report template has two options. You have the long version as well as the short version. The long version comes with the risk and issues tab, and the short version is a condensed version which includes risk and issues in there. So for the long version, I'll just go through how you would fill out a report. So we'll start here with the report date. So we'll just go for the 20th of April 2020, and we make a note of the program lead, who's the sponsor of your program, the budget of your program. So it's 1.5 million. How much have you spent so far? Which is always very good for your financial, your finance officer. And what's the forecast spent on a whole of your program? So even though you've got a budget of 2 million, you're actually forecasting to spend 1.5, sorry, you've got a budget of 1.5 million, you actually forecast to spend 2 million. So that variance has gone up by 500,000, which is automatically calculated in that cell. So, and then you have to kind of look at, well, how many open projects have you got within this program? So you've got 20 open projects and you've completed 2. So out of that, then how many milestones do you have? So in your entire program, you can say, well, I have 150 milestones that I need to achieve in order to close my program. So there you will be like, okay, out of 150, how many have you closed so far? So far, I've only managed to close 25. And that will kind of show you that you're 17% through your program. And it will show whoever is your project board or project sponsor that you're 70% through, which, is good transparency. What you can do here is that you put that 17% there, and then you complete your next, so say if you submit this again, so your next report, you change the date, you know that your last report said 17%, this time round you're actually closing 40. So you can see progress against the previous report cycle, which is 17%. Then you go into your closure date, which is the 30th of the 12th, 21 of the entire program. This row shows your program RAG status. So what's the overall health of your program? So you can select green, amber, red, the normal RAG options. So you put red here. For demonstration purposes, we're going to go with amber. And it's amber not because of the schedule, which is green, or resources, but perhaps because of the scope. The scope of work has increased. So you'll probably make that red, and then you'll say it's red because your budget has also increased. But it's amber because it's within tolerance, or whatever your RAG. It's important to know what the criteria is to make your project or program RAG, and so everyone's clear on why certain things have turned amber or red, and when they can turn back to green. Your executive summary is just an update to your project board or program board on the latest update. So pretty straightforward. This week we have closed, this week we have closed 2 projects. Hiring freeze means that 2 of our projects are on hold, etc., etc. Requesting more finance to go externally. Whatever it is that's key to your program, you will put it in here. Next one is your upcoming key program milestones. So across a program, especially if you've got more than 4 or 5 projects, there are going to be key milestones that you want to make a note of or want to be aware of. And so it'd be good to, make a note of that. So your project ID, so what project is delivering that milestone? So say if it's BL 17 and the project is ITV servers, and then the milestone could be high level design approved by board. And the due date of that is or was the 28th of April. So you can see here that's pretty straightforward in the sense that you can go through, once you're setting up your program, you make a note of the key milestones, milestones that your seniors on your program will be interested in knowing about, and you can rank those milestones as well. So is the milestone completed? So that's brilliant. Or is the milestone at risk? So you've got to read it. So because you haven't had it approved because it's been delayed for whatever reason. Again, this is to help being really transparent on where you are on the project. It's all about transparency. Further down, we have a project snapshot. Now, this is more of a detail around the actual projects in the program. So here we go, bold 17, that's the project ID, name, the project's ID, ITV Services project name, who is the project manager, it's Lisa Bloom. What's the project budget? It's a small budget, it's only 50,000. How many open risks does the project have? Only 2. How many open issues? 0. And an update on it. Network engineers have all been onboarded and completed site surveys. When is the project due to end? It's only a 6-month project, so it's probably going to end at the end of December this year. And is the project RAG? What's the RAG status? Is it amber? Is it red? Has the project actually been completed? So this allows, going with the long version, just allows a little bit more detail on the actual projects that are feeding into the program, which is very useful and very good to keep it all in one place. And also, for transparency purposes, make sure you have a RAG status on each of the projects. So next, we have the risk and issues log. Now, I'm not going to go through this in too much. We do have a RAID tutorial which you can go to if you want more detail on how to fill out the risk and issues. But this is more around the fact that we've got risk, issues, dependencies, and change requests, all for the program. So it would be important to kind of have a look through that, and then from there see how you can populate it, but it should be much more transparent for yourselves and very easy to use. Now, the short version of the program status report, as you can see here, we only have one row for the snapshot, and again, it's pretty straightforward, and I can't imagine you changing any fields very often, with the exception of number of completed projects. You put the program RAG, so there's no detail around whether it's scope, resources, budget. It's all around the overall health. So is it a program that senior management teams should be worried about? Then you have the executive summary, again, similar to the long tab. You just put in what the highlight is for that reporting period. And then we have here, just probably one side is the program milestones, which I went through before. And the next side is really around a snapshot of the program projects. So with the program projects, you can see there is no detail for description. It's literally just straightforward information. So you can put in the project ID, and then ITV service, who the project manager is, Karen Brown, project budget, 50,000, and when the end date is, and then kind of take it all from there, really. And it should be pretty straightforward. That's the only real change from the long version, in addition to risk and issues being included. What isn't included in this short tab is the dependencies and assumptions. But if you did want to run those, if you did want to have that, I would suggest, but you prefer this format, you can also use the risk and issues tab and just remove it from below here. It's whatever suits you. So that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed it, found it helpful. If you have any questions for us, please join us, join our mailing list where we're emailing out hot tips on how to use the templates, but also just drop us a note, drop us an email on contactus@thepmobox.com. Thank you.